In the NBA, 2 or 3 superstars and the championship is the formula everyone wants, but rarely gets. I am talking about the Big 2 or the Big 3 basketball fans always rave about. But what happens when elite talent collides under the brightest lights and the weight of expectations becomes too heavy to bear? Let's talk about a recent case that got people hyped, but we are not sure if the expectations are being met.
This is a partnership, this is a pair right here that surprised a lot of people this offseason. I know privately you guys have talked about the possibility of teaming up.
We've got Damian Lillard with fire in his eyes and a championship ring just beyond his grasp, who forced his way out of Portland, leaving years of loyalty behind in the rearview mirror. He wanted help, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, the reigning MVP and Finals MVP, wanted that help too.
2019 Kia NBA Most Valuable Player goes to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So when Lillard arrived, the pairing was supposed to be the ultimate super team. 2 of the league's most dominant players coming together with one clear mission. But what seemed like a match made in heaven has, at times, struggled to find its rhythm. But with injuries and chemistry challenges altering the course, the big question is what's next? Because as the season comes to an end, we are left wondering if it was a super team or super struggle. Let's delve into the journey of 2 legends trying to carry the weight of their respective franchises' hopes.
To send the Thunder home. Lillard, long range 3, and it's good! At the buzzer!
Damian Lillard didn't just arrive in Milwaukee. He came with the full weight of expectations and a championship or bust mentality. You've heard the story. Damian Lillard, the ultimate loyal soldier, stayed in Portland through thick and thin, carrying a franchise that never quite gave him the pieces to succeed. His shot was a dagger. His heart was the beating pulse of the Blazers. Dame Time became a legend, and his game winner in the 2019 playoffs against the Thunder remains one of the most iconic moments in recent memory. But as the years wore on, Lillard's championship window slowly closed. His stats were legendary. I'm talking 25.2 points per game, 6.6 assists per game, and a perennial all-star. But there was one thing he couldn't outrun: the ticking clock of his prime. And when the world knew the Milwaukee Bucks were eyeing a star to help Giannis, Lillard forced his hand. He wasn't chasing just another payday, he was chasing something bigger: a ring. His move to Milwaukee wasn't just about basketball, it was about legacy. It was about making sure his greatness wasn't defined by what could have been, but by what he achieved. But how would he fit in with the Greek Freak? On the other side of this dynamic pairing is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Brogdon, they got to work quick. Brogdon with the left. Tipped up and in. Giannis with 5 seconds to go.
The man who was supposed to be the heart and soul of Milwaukee for the next decade. He single-handedly brought the city its first NBA championship in 50 years, earning 2 MVPs, a Finals MVP, and a place in basketball history. But greatness is a double-edged sword. Giannis had already conquered individual milestones. The world knew him as the Greek Freak, a physical anomaly capable of dominating any defender anywhere. But even Giannis wasn't immune to the championship hunger. After winning in 2021, he knew it wasn't enough. He needed more help. In walks Lillard, a player with the type of scoring ability Giannis never had on his roster before. The pairing was supposed to be perfect: a floor spacer to free up Giannis and a clutch shooter who could take the pressure off when the game was on the line. But here's the thing: could 2 dominant players share the spotlight? Could they make it work? Or was this a high-stakes gamble, one that could either elevate them to a dynasty or break them apart?
Howard, they start to play well. We're only 2 possessions in, but it makes for both for Utah.
Oh, Tatum got hit. Count the 3-pointer and a possible 4-point play for Damian.
The idea was electric. I mean, the Bucks now have Lillard's shooting range and ice-cold clutch, combined with Giannis's dominant paint presence and defensive prowess. Together, they were supposed to be unstoppable. But the reality was far more complicated. From their first game together, the potential was there, but the chemistry wasn't. Lillard's quick triggers and deep threes were no longer a novelty. They were now a necessity. Giannis, the two-time MVP, suddenly found himself adjusting to a new style of play. One where he didn't have the ball in his hands as much. One where his every move was expected to complement Dame's. Both were accustomed to being the centerpiece of their respective teams, so now they were learning to share that spotlight. The question was, could they find harmony and could they play together? For now, we may never know, and that is because injuries plagued their first few playoff appearances together. We saw Lillard tearing his Achilles in 2025, just as the Bucks' title hopes were soaring. Despite all the numbers, Giannis's 30.1 points per game, 11.9 rebounds per game, and 5.4 assists per game, and Lillard's 24.6 points per game and 7.9 assists per game, they couldn't seem to break through the chemistry wall. And so the question remains, are they a super team or super struggle? The Dame Giannis experiment is still unfolding, with moments of brilliance and stretches of struggle, but for now, all they have is potential, like everything in basketball, which can disappear in an instant.
This game, they couldn't stop Trent. That one was off balance. Lillard volleyballs it over, and Lillard goes down with an injury.
The stakes couldn't have been higher. Lillard's torn Achilles during the 2025 playoffs threw everything into chaos, not just for Lillard, but for the entire Milwaukee Bucks franchise. This wasn't just another injury. This was the end of the first chapter of the Dame Giannis saga. Lillard, whose Achilles injury threatened to keep him sidelined for an unknown period of time, became the ticking clock of the Bucks' hopes. Could Giannis carry this team without his newly acquired superstar partner, and could he rise to the occasion again without Lillard's scoring and playmaking ability beside him? Another question is, even when Giannis is healthy, can he stay healthy enough to lead the Bucks while waiting for Lillard to recover? The offseason looms with questions about team dynamics, potential trades, and whether the Bucks need another piece to become championship contenders again. Will they hit their peak or fall short? You see, for Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo, the journey is just beginning, but the pressure is already suffocating. The Bucks are at a crossroads, with the weight of expectation bearing down on them from all angles. Will they overcome the growing pains of adjusting to one another? Can Lillard come back from injury and find his place, and can Giannis lead this team to another championship before their window closes? With a win now mandate and injury recovery timelines hanging in the balance, this story could go in many different directions. What we know for sure is that Lillard and Giannis have the talent to be one of the most unstoppable duos in NBA history if they can find a way to mesh. For now, we wait, because the Dame Giannis experiment is far from over, and it could still explode into something legendary or collapse under the pressure of what's at stake. So what do you think? Will they finally rise to the occasion, or is this pairing destined to fall short? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, hit like if you're here for the drama, and don't forget to subscribe because this experiment is just getting started.